Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to your Lunch Break Live. My name's Ivana if you're new here. If you're not, thank you for coming back. Today is Monday, June the 7th. We are starting off this Monday with kind of a back to school topic. I know it's summer. There's a lot of you who are saying back to school, but with colleges, we do know that back to school does start a little bit earlier for those who want to get into those summer classes and get some of those credit hours going and moving in the right direction. So today, I thought it would be a fun topic to bring on Dr. Rebecca Kennedy, She is the Assistant Vice President of Student Health and Wellbeing at UAB. And she is here today to tell us a little bit about how UAB is participating in the White House COVID-19 vaccine challenge. Now, Dr. Kennedy is going to explain a little bit about what that is and how UAB is involved in the challenge. But Dr. Kennedy, I'm going to let you just kind of first, before we get into how UAB is trying to achieve that status and how to get their students vaccinated back on campus, I'm going to let you kind of explain a little bit what this White House vaccine challenge is and how does it relate to colleges like UAB here in Alabama?
Well, one of the things that we are really aware of is that the vaccines, in terms of that traditionally aged 18 to 24-year-old, they weren't really largely eligible for that student group until the end of the spring semester. And so what we found around the nation is that just as people were starting to enter, those term papers and that final exams piece was exactly when people were eligible to get that vaccine. So what we found nationally is that the students were sort of pausing. They were saying things like, I'll get it done this summer. And they were not getting them, even though many colleges and universities were making them available, they weren't doing it. And so the White House has recognized how unbelievably important it is to not have students wait until they return to college in the fall. And I mean, we've got lots of students that take summer classes, but some of those are online and some people don't come back to the campus community. And we want to make sure that everybody gets vaccinated before then. And in fact, what President Biden has said is he wants to get as many people vaccinated for July 4th as possible. So the White House put out this challenge. UAB was one of the folks that they reached out to say, would you be interested in being an early adopter? And of course, we were thrilled to sort of, set that gold standard here in Alabama and sort of say, absolutely. We are working very, very hard to make sure that every student, staff, and faculty has an opportunity to get vaccinated. And so that's really what the White House Challenge is about. They ask for three things. The first they list as engage every student, faculty, and staff member. The second is organize your college community. And the third is deliver vaccine access for all. And we have been very hard at work making sure that at this point it is open, that everybody has access to those. But we're particularly targeting right now our students and sort of that younger generation that just didn't get a chance to get it when it first came out based on their age, and make sure that they get it long before they come back for that spring semester.
Now, it probably isn't a surprise to a lot of us who especially have paid attention during the last year or so during the pandemic that UAB was one of the first places that the White House reached out to and asked you to participate in their COVID-19 vaccines challenge. We know that our doctors and experts at UAB really have been national authority figures on a lot of information coming out of the pandemic. So that's not surprising there. What is interesting is that this vaccine challenge kind of includes the whole campus of UAB. It's not just that med school. It's not just the experts. It is the people who are going to UAB for all types of other things and kind of on that other side of campus, if you're familiar with UAB and who aren't on that medical side. So have you seen maybe a difference in the excitement for getting vaccine from people in the medical community and the medical side of campus versus the side of campus that is a little bit more arts and maybe arts, communication, different things, education, not medically based?
I think that's a great question. I have not noticed that, but I'm not sure. I mean, I'm over the, student health and wellbeing, so I'm really focused in on what's going on with our student population. And what we're hearing from our student leaders is that, that many students want to get vaccinated, but it's the convenience, we have web bookable appointments where they can come into the health center, but they have to make an appointment to come into the health center to do it. And so we're focusing right now on how can we kind of take the vaccines to them. So we're looking at all kinds of different strategies on how we might do that. And I haven't heard any difference in terms of the myths sort of across sort of one group or another group. But what we have heard from students is a little bit of confusion about, what if I got it? If I already had COVID and I've got, natural immunity, do I still need to get the vaccine? And the answer is yes, you definitely need to still get vaccinated. And keep in mind that with the Pfizer or the Moderna, you have 2 doses, and that's what we're offering here. So in our mass vaccination clinics that we're doing, that's the Pfizer. And so 3 weeks after your first dose, you need to come back in for a second dose. And then 2 weeks after that is when we think of you as fully vaccinated. So that's why, again, we're pushing folks to do it right now, because we want, it's a 5-week process. If you were to get vaccinated today, then it's going to be 5 weeks before you really have that 95%, sort of rate of being, protected. And that's what we want everybody to be at. In Student Health Services, we're offering Moderna. I love that because it's like we have both of those available to students. They both have the same kind of rates in terms of success, but people feel differently about which one they want to get. And so we've got both of those available for our students. And we're also working really hard on pop-up strategies, trying to figure out how can we, again, get this to, we just started classes today. And so welcome back, UAB students. For those people that are coming in-person classes, they're here today. And so we're looking at how can we take it to some of the big academic buildings and kind of set it up there. Are we going to go to some off-campus kind of residences, maybe set it up there? I mean, we're just really strategizing how can we get it to them to make it as convenient as possible for them.
Now, that's a good point that you made about it's a 5-week process. So yeah, it may only take 5 minutes to go in and get your shot, and that is great. And I know that's what you're encouraging people to do. But the earlier that people get it, so say today, June 7th, tomorrow, June 8th, or the beginning of June, then that means if somebody wants to come in, get their vaccine, they should be fully vaccinated by the time that the fall semester starts in August. I'm assuming sometime in August. And then that way they can get back on campus and be fully protected. So interesting comment there. Now, let me ask you, I know you mentioned those pop-up clinics and you're really targeting these students, especially those who, as you said, in the spring probably were just tired of the semester. Everybody's had a hard year. Everybody had a hard semester. And they said, look, I'm tired. I'm going to go home. I'll do it before I come back. No biggie. So you're kind of targeting that group now that said that to get them vaccinated now. So what is UAB doing to achieve this vaccine challenge?
Well, one of the things I'm really excited about is tomorrow we have one of those max vaccination sites that's set up. So Tuesday from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m., any prospective or current UAB student can come to Bartow to get their free vaccine. We happen to have, for those students that are already students, not for our prospective students yet, but for those students that are our returning students, they can actually be entered to win a $250 gift card from Amazon. We have 5 $250 Amazon gift cards that we're going to be doing a random drawing for those people that get vaccinated tomorrow, which is just awesome. But everybody that comes can get, we've got snack bags with water and, raisins and a Nutri-Grain bar and, all kinds of other goodies. So anybody that comes to that event tomorrow at Bartow Arena will get a snack bag as well. And so, yeah, you're right. It takes maybe 5 minutes to go through the process. And then you do need to sit there for about 15 minutes just to make sure that there aren't any reactions or anything like that. And then you're good to go. So really the whole process is about 20 minutes of your day to get yourself protected in terms of COVID. So.
Are these, you said these shots, anybody can come. So this is available to UAB students, prospective students. Who else is this available to tomorrow?
Well, we're not going to turn anybody away, but this particular mass vaccination event, we are really targeting the students. We're saying, come on, let's get you vaccinated. But again, if there's somebody out there that wants to get their vaccine and, wants to stop by Bartow Arena, we are not going to turn folks away. We've had a handful of athletes that have asked us, can I bring my grandma? Can I bring my mom? And we're like, yep, you sure can. Absolutely. So we're not carding anyone or anything like that. It's a huge vaccination event. You just, come in that, there's a parking lot between Campbell and Bartow, and that's the side that you sort of enter in, and then you'll funnel out and come out on the side of Hill, sort of on the the road sort of side there. But yeah, we've got it set up in the concourse, super convenient, super easy, lots of parking around Bartow. We're not ticketing anybody in terms of the students, they worry about where can I park and not get a ticket, that we're withholding all the ticketing sort of in any of the parking lots around Bartow. And again, it's 3 to 7 p.m. tomorrow night, Tuesday. So that's our first big one that we're doing. And we are pushing that hard. We've got some fantastic students that have already gotten vaccinated that have really taken this on. This has become a big issue on their heart, whether they've lost someone to COVID or they have just taken it on as a student leader. We've got a student testimonial campaign that's going on. And so many students have asked to kind of have their story recorded and then sort of shared out. So you can see those student testimonials in terms of, folks that have said, we are in this together and we've got to get this done. We have a campaign here that we've talked about for a long time that's called Show Your Blazer Spirit. And at the time, that we were first doing all of these things, SHOW actually stood for things, and it kind of helped students remember what they needed to do. So the S was social distance, the H was hand washing. Each one had their own thing, with the last one being wear a mask. And we're still saying show your Blazer spirit, but now it's show your Blazer spirit and get vaccinated. And so you probably know, as a UAB grad, we've got huge Blazer spirit. Everybody loves UAB and loves being a Blazer. And so that's what we're seeing, is we're seeing students really come out to just make sure that they get that vaccine. And now that they don't have to worry about, finals or, anything like that, I think there was just this fear that, well, what if I'm one of those people that gets a little bit sick from the vaccine? I don't want to have a headache at the same time that I'm trying to, study for an exam. But now they're good to go. So yeah, it is all hands on deck tomorrow, Bartow Arena, 3 to 7. And we'll take anybody, but again, this is really targeting those prospective students and our current students.
3 to 7 tomorrow, Bartow Arena, that first pop-up for UAB students and prospective students as part of the White House Vaccine Challenge. Let me ask you, Dr. Kennedy, is there anything that UAB is maybe getting as an incentive from the White House to participate in this challenge, or is this just a challenge of responsibility?
It's just a challenge of responsibility. They are, extraordinarily helpful in terms of marketing materials and sharing ideas. They have an American College Health Association and the White House Challenge are sort of working together to put on some different events where people can kind of share ideas. As you mentioned earlier, UAB, we've got so many amazing experts here. You have to think, this school is a little bit unique in that health is part of our mission. Whereas at a lot of colleges and universities, they could be a liberal arts school, they could be a very small school. Health may be a very small part of what they do. There's lots of campuses that don't have any physicians on campus at all. They may have just a nurse practitioner in their clinic. And so we're kind of a powerhouse when it comes to this. And we have an opportunity to really help others to sort of see what can be done to sort of get out the vaccination, movement. And so they have the White House Challenge is offering lots of opportunities for colleges and universities to share with one another what their strategies are. And so UAB is really excited to share what we've been able to accomplish, because, we have, been vaccinating the community and our faculty, staff, and students. And so, really in a position to do that and do that well.
Dr. Kennedy, I'll reiterate, 3 to 7 tomorrow, Bartow Arena for this student and prospective student vaccine pop-up. And we know, again, part of the White House Vaccine Challenge. And if you're a UAB student, you can be entered to win I believe, $250 Amazon gift card. So that can be 5 of them. So we know that's an incentive. I'm not a student, but that's an incentive for me at this point as well. I think we all use Amazon at this point in our lives. So, Doctor, thank you so much for all of this information and for sharing this message and getting the word out.
Absolutely, my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Everybody watching, we'll leave all of this information in the comments below if you are interested or if you're a prospective student and want to attend. So, everybody, thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.